There are military recruits. There are, recruiting for basketball, for athletics and things like that. There's recruiting for everything, but there was something about that word that really, really bothered me. And just like the word diet affects me, like you mentioned diet, I will gain 100 pounds, like that, okay? So I had to use other things. Like I don't diet, but what I like to do is I like to shred back to better see the results of my efforts. Notice I don't talk anything about having to cut anything out of my eating program and things like that. So sometimes I have to find a different word for me to better understand what that means. So for example, recruiting means that I'm mentoring people. I'm helping people be able to see what's possible in them, and I'm giving them the option to be able to do the same. I do the same thing with invite, which used to freak me out because I thought all I do is just blindly invite people. That's not it, you guys. It really is share. And I think it was Carl. Hold on, cheese. I think it was Carl who said at one point that share just didn't have the same ring as invite. I mean, just some ways our mouths work better than others, right? But that's really what it is that you share your journey. You talk about it as it's important to you. And then when somebody asks you questions about it, you don't clam up and go, well, I don't want to sell them. I'm going to talk to you about that because you're actually depriving them of being able to have the changes that you need in your life. So I had to get over my stigmas on what recruiting meant. So I didn't want to push people. I didn't want to push people. I didn't want to talk to them about recruiting. As a matter of fact, who's banging on drums? I'm easily distracted, y'all. Bright, shiny things and drumming. As a matter of fact, I'll never forget. Jimmy, I'm sure Jimmy's on here. I just can't see him. A few years back, Jimmy said, and Jimmy was like, hey, Tulin, like, you've got these people, and I was a heart attack diamonds, meaning just barely had the bare minimum of diamonds. So if somebody dropped or went inactive, I would drop from diamonds. And he's just like, you're helping all these people. Are you talking to them about, coaching and things like that? Nope, not doing it. One day, Jimmy says, on a call like this probably, I'm going to recruit 100 people. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that too. And guess what happened? I changed my conversation. I changed my attitude about coaching and my perception, and then I went for it. And the way that I did it is I thought back to my interaction with Jimmy. I thought back to how did he make me feel? And I thought back to now having a better understanding of respecting his boundaries and the requirements to have particular tools in hand. And how grateful that I was that he said that this was required. And when I looked back, I realized, Edie, I'd be pissed if Jimmy didn't tell me that I could get a discount or I had the opportunity to make money. So I'm going to do my best to not be teary about this. But I don't know if you guys know, both Jimmy and I are going to be speaking at the Montreal Super Saturday. And hopefully I'm not blowing anything right now, but this is just so important right now. Do you know what it means to me to share the stage with Jimmy? And the fact that people in that audience can look on that stage and go, look what's possible. That the guy who extended his hand to me, that we are now sharing our story separately, but that means a lot to me. And I want you to understand that recruiting should mean a lot to you. And while you are not responsible for their success or their failures, you can rest well at night knowing that I gave someone an opportunity to change their life. I gave them a total solution in a box. And they came to me based off my results, which chances are everybody's on here. Your results are based off of personal development, drinking your Shakeology, being consistent in your workout, right? Could be all those kinds of things. But now somebody comes to you and says, nope, I don't want those pieces. I just want this. Are we really helping them if we aren't telling them about the total solution? We're not. So what I learned to do, and Jimmy says this all the time, I really value no. Like a lot. Like I go for it. Like a no can give me many O's. Like I'm not kidding you. And I'm pretty blunt about what I say. But no is the biggest blessing in the world, because I know I did what I needed to do. I gave them the full solution. I told them about the discount. I told them about whatever, about coaching, whatever it is I need to talk to them about. I presented, Jack, I presented everything to them. I explained to them where the boundary was to join my group. And then I also offered them an opportunity to either sign up for the discount or not. Now, there's two ways of thinking about that, and I will talk about both. Okay, I will talk about both ways. But I gave them the solution. I am so confident that every single person who's on this call right now, who's been a part of who are in my groups, that I 100% know that they know that each one of them was given the exact same information. And when they make sacrifices and they trusted me and the stranger on this journey to begin with, that everyone else on the team did the exact same thing. I refuse to offer anything less than the challenge pack. And I refuse to allow people to be in my group if they are not on Shakeology monthly. And I tell them about this from the beginning. Why? Because I don't have coach. I want to make sure they know the total solution. Not only that, everybody on my team knows that Shakeology is the cornerstone to what we do. And in order to maintain in the coaching groups, you need to maintain drinking it. And that's it. And so they can rest assured to know that somebody else is not being treated a different way, that an exception is not being made a different way. And guess what? Every single lady, and I have some gentlemen, but for the most part, every single lady on my team does a really good job of honoring those boundaries and those rules because they value or bring to the table, even when there's bumps in the road and I'm launching new coaching programs and things like that. So going back to recruiting, I make sure, one, I lose my attitude about it and my preconceived notions about it. Because if you look at recruiting or talking to people about coaching as icky and ooh, that's you. That's you. You are choosing to put fear into it. You are choosing to put a negative spin into it. I am so glad, going back to myself, that Jimmy told me about it. My family would not be here today if he hadn't told me about the options and gave me the opportunity to say yes or no, and telling me what was required to work with him. The conversation was clear. And when I say that, what that does is that's helped me become one of the top recruiters and top SC earners in this company. However, I don't teach that. And the reason why I don't teach that is because it's not necessary in order to be successful in this business. What's important, what is the most important part about this business is staying in the fundamentals. I know somebody posted the conversation, the speech that Bonnie Engel gave in Philadelphia. She talked about staying in the fundamentals. I remember Raina Odell had spoken about that. I think Danielle and I were at a Super Saturday here in LA about a year ago or so. And Raina Odell, who's, I don't know, number something in the top 10, had asked Amy, who's number something in the top 10, goes, how do you do it? How do you make this all happen? Like, how do you make this work? And Amy Silverman told her, I stay in the fundamentals. And when I heard that, it really stuck with me. It really stuck with me because I'm not going to teach you or show you anything outside of the fundamentals today. I'm not. Because the reason why I'm able to recruit and help people get started is because I stay and live in the fundamentals. Staying in phase one, exactly. Making sure that I'm doing my due. Now, for the past few weeks, not so much, trying to go for elite, to be totally honest. And yes, like Danielle said, because she was there when we were there together, she said Raina was shocked by her answer, and that helped Raina go to top 10. It is literally why it happens. If you get too much into the training, too much into all this other stuff, and you don't focus on the fundamentals, none of the rest of the stuff matters. Because you stay in the busy. Somebody has to have the magic sauce. Well, Coach Tulin, you've got a large following. I started with 0. Coach Tulin, you have an amazing support system. I had no one. Coach Tulin, you were able to afford to get your challenge back. I still don't have a wedding ring to this day. So I say, yes, Kim, my wedding ring paid for our hotel room, the car in case we didn't have a place to live, and that's fed my baby's bellies. And it was the setting because we'd already sold the diamonds. We were holding on the setting, praying that at some point we get the diamonds back. We had already sold my husband's ring, and we had some money that was left over. And I looked at my husband and said, well, how many servings of Shakeology? He said 30. And he go, fine, we'll buy 2 bags and we'll starve. And I had every intention to return it back on Jimmy. It's actually why I signed up with Jimmy. 2 reasons. 1, I knew he appeared willing enough to share. And 2, if I returned it on him, he was a stranger enough that I could sleep at night. Being honest. Just being honest. I'm so confident in that return policy that every single person who sits on my team and Team NSV knows about the return policy in email number 2 they receive from me, or 3. Every single person knows about the return policy. Every single one. And how easy it is to return. They don't even need my help. See, when it comes to recruiting people to be a part of this, when you have open conversations with them, after you got to know their goals and their struggles, talking to them, actually not talking to them, asking questions, and then shutting your mouth and listening and helping them find the best solutions. And you can stand confident in the solution you're offering to them and know that the chances of them saying no is more likely than yes. But at least you know that you did your due diligence of helping them get to where it is that they want to get into their life, and that you know you can help them do that. That's why no doesn't bother me. That's why no doesn't bother me. And recruiting doesn't bother me. And let me go to the 2 different ways people think about recruiting. Yes, Rhoda says, I'm brutally honest in the beginning. I absolutely am. There are 2 different thoughts about recruiting. Okay? I personally like to tell everybody about the coach discount. I do. But I lead with fitness. I lead with helping them on getting to know their goals and their struggles, offering them a solution based off their goals and struggles, not on what's on sale. I never do that. Based off of their goals and struggles. Then I offer them the solution. And then I tell them that they have an opportunity to be able to get this on a discount, if they choose to. And then I tell them, and again, something I learned from someone that Jimmy had put in front of us, if they end up inspiring, and I use the word inspire, right? I don't like if you get 3 people. That sounds so icky, right? So I got to hang up there. But I'm telling you, these ladies on my team who are a part of the crew, the mothership, as they progress on their journeys, before they lose a pound, they end up hearing words from someone that they have inspired. So if they've inspired someone and they have the VIP discount, I openly tell them, let me know, and we will help them get signed up through you, and you keep the commission, and we will help coach them together. I never have fear of missing out, but I just let them know, I know you think that you're not going to inspire anyone. I know you don't think you have 3 people. I didn't either. I didn't have a warm market. But your light is going to shine brighter, and you can't dim that light of better health, of better confidence in the skin you're in, of knowing that you're making a difference in your life, of being able to get up and down off that floor. Like I know for some of my ladies, you guys, it's not about weight loss. It's about being able to get up and down off the floor. It's about tying their shoes. It's about being alive for their kids. Nobody mentioned a freaking pound lost. Why would I not be willing to tell them about the total solution? That would be selfish. And so I remind myself that it's my duty to let them know. Now, notice, you guys, I didn't give you guys a step-by-step on what you need to do. I just want to teach you guys based off of what I've learned from the information we all have in our hands right now and how I've applied them. So some people feel that it's best to start them off as a customer, let them have a really great experience, and then talking about coaching. There's no right or wrong way. There's no right or wrong way. I personally let them know about the discount. I let them know about the information. And then I say, if you're interested in building this business, that is a separate conversation. This is not my maniacal plan to go, ha, 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 I got you on my team now. And just because you're sitting here, I'm making massive amounts of money. To be totally real, I make more money if I get their commissions, right? But if I can help lead them in their journey, help them learn how to do this on their own 2 feet and not having them expect me to manage them, because I'll talk about that here in a second, then they're going to see something in this and go, you know what, Tulin? I think I'm interested in learning more about them. And all I did was led them with the fitness. And if they choose not to, it's okay. They've got a huge place in our heart, and they've got a spot for as long as they want to continue doing this. It is not required to build your business. But I give people an opportunity to know that they can set a discount, because I would have been mad at Jimmy if he didn't tell me. However, if you prefer to follow the other path of signing them up as a customer and then 30 days later talking about the coaching opportunity, things like that, there's nothing wrong with that. There's people who build massive amounts of business doing that. But you can only build a successful business in this if you lead with helping people. You have to lead with helping people. You can't lead. I have goals, but I don't have a success club goal on a monthly basis, because I naturally know now my ebb and flow and how I do this, and I receive them because I always lead with my heart. I lead them with their fitness, and I receive SC points for helping make a difference in somebody else's life. Really weird how that happens, you guys. If I led with SC, or if I looked at every person who was coming in as a $30, $40, $70 commission, I would not be in this business for very long. This is very much a heart-filled business. And each one of those checks are filled with thank yous. Okay? So are we understanding this right now? You guys understanding that it's about being the fundamentals. It's about feeling confident in your nose. You guys, I didn't have a lot of worth when I started in this either. It was very, very, very broken. Like rock bottom is the foundation, I built my life on. I kind of brutalized her quote, but it's something that J.K. Rowling said. Like legitimately, I felt like I had to just keep filling this hole of rock bottom over and over and over again. I let the world define me. Believe me, when you're broken homeless, everybody's got something to say, and people love to kick when they're down. But guess what I realized? I was laying there allowing people to kick me when I was down. I was allowing them to define me. And I started breaking away with that because I got introduced to personal development, and because I got introduced to the vital behaviors, and because I started sharing with other people, shining a light in other people, because I could no longer dull my own, and I refused to give my permission away to other people and allow them to dull mine. That's recruiting. That's Success Club. And the reason why I feel so good about it is because that's what my coach did for me. So I'm going to comment real quick about what Brian said. I've gone in circles trying to make SC sell recruit, but for all the wrong reasons. It's taken me up to last week to see my thought of lack of knowledge. Well, at least you were getting up and doing something, Brian, because there's a lot of people who just sit here and do nothing. But that's the reality. But I don't sell. I offer a solution, and I offer a solution based off of what they shared with me. And the majority of the women who come to me, guess what other struggle they have? Finances. Finances. So when I lead with the fitness and they have an amazing experience, now I can teach them about the finance. And my goal in 2017, oh, don't cry, is to be able to do for others on my team in what Jimmy has done for us and this family. And what being in the crew has done for us in this family, in this house. I want to be able to do that for other people. I really do. And the only way I can do that is by taking what I've learned and sharing with other people. So let me talk to you really quickly right now, because I think it's really important, because I actually invited my entire team on here. And this is a very open conversation, because understand, they all went through the exact same process. And I love the fact that I can have this open conversation about recruiting and SC, and know that I have people on here right now that are just discount coaches, which is a customer. And I'm okay with that. And I think it's really good to see under the hood. That's something that Mary Schrank and I really, really do in our Coach Fundamentals, is really sharing the under the hood of this entire process. So as I shared with you, I am one of the top recruiters and one of the top SC earners in the company, which is amazing, right? That means I help a lot of people get started. Now, I go way above and beyond in the content and things like that I provide in the group. But I will tell you, when I started off with the challenge group guides in the back office. I hadn't even been in, Jimmy, I was never in a challenge group. I had never been in a challenge group before. I didn't know the experience, but I jumped in even when I didn't have all these new, all these ways of thinking about myself, even when I was in my deep, dark place, and I utilized those challenge group guides, okay? And so I was able to start inviting people to a challenge group. I was able to start building my support system, because I don't know about you guys, you know what recruiting has done for me? It has helped build a support system and a fit fam. And that would not have happened if I hadn't been recruiting. Because it allowed me to bring the right energy to surround all of this. But most importantly, I have an amazing fit fam. Like, I feel engulfed. I'm like in this bubble of amazing women, right? So people often ask me, well, Coach Tulin, how do you manage? I love that. People go, how do you manage getting 50 new coaches in a month? Now, mind you, I don't do that every single month, but a lot of months I do. How do you manage getting so many people? Like, I'm some sort of an a-hole, just like cranking out like all these people like a sausage factory going, SC commission, SC commission. I don't. So here's my answer. I don't manage the people I recruit. They are not here to be managed. They're here to be taught. They're here to learn from you and to see guidance from you, not because I have all the answers, but because we're figuring this out on their own. I don't manage people. I help people to stand on their own 2 feet again and build up in that power in themselves, take their power back and empower themselves. That I don't want to go to a doctor that's going to keep getting me sick, so I have to keep coming back. I help my ladies by example, and by them being an example for each other, individually and uniquely be able to get on their own 2 feet and to start feeling confident and bring that power back to themselves, that when they walk away from my group, which I hope that they never do, but if they choose to ever walk away from my group, that with the knowledge that they gained, that they will never want to quit on themselves again. That's not managing. I really believe in leading from the front, and leading from the front means you screw up a lot. Leading from the front means people will get bummed out at you. Leading from the front means you got to go, I'm human like you, I'm on a journey like you, but I'm really dedicated to making this a better and better experience. So just because I'm a top recruiter and just because I'm a top SC earner doesn't mean that I don't stumble, fumble, and fall forward. Doesn't mean that I'm not constantly learning and growing in events like this, or showing up to the playbook and finding out ways that I can do things better because I love what I do so much. And this is why, you guys, even from the very beginning days, that I can stand confident in recruiting and talking to people about the challenge pack, because I know that I can give them an amazing experience, and that my Fit Fam will also be giving them an amazing experience, that they're going to have the greatest gift in their life. So I don't manage. My ladies are not here to be managed by me. They are way too strong, powerful, every single one of us. If we are waiting for somebody to go and lift the weight for us, or pick up the phone, or share our journey online, and you're waiting for somebody to tell you to take the next step, start taking your power back. So anyways, that's management. Following up in this process, like getting people to come through it again, I stay in my fundamentals. I follow up. I do. You got to follow up. I can't even tell you, there's 2 people following up with me right now about 2 things that I need to get done. If you've asked somebody about their goals and their struggles, and you've talked to them and they express an interest, and then we sit back and go, I've got 3 people who are ready to buy a challenge pack. Notice I just said, I got 3 people waiting to buy a challenge pack. I'm going to hit SC9 this month, or whatever it is, SC6, depending what you're selling, right? I'm going to hit it, and you just sit back and you just keep bugging them and bugging them and bugging them. That's not following up. That's you doing the bare minimum, just crossing your fingers and hoping to God that eventually they'll end up buying. I did that. I did that in the beginning. I very much did that in the beginning. So we follow up a couple of times. Now, one of the things that Jimmy taught me about, or introduced me to, notice I keep going back to Jimmy. I think it's really important and valuable to understand, like, I remember when somebody's inspired, not always, but when somebody's inspired me. And I always love to honor them back by saying, this is what I've learned from you. And one of the things that Jimmy did, and I don't know if he's here because I can't see him. One of the things that Jimmy did is he said, hey, Tulin, in the very beginning, you should listen to this thing. And it was Barbie Decker at the time. She's now Barbie Kalev. All right, cool. I just can't see because there's like 4 pages of people, you guys. Amazing. Barbie Decker is now married to Siggy, so it's now Barbie Kalev. But Jimmy said, you should listen to this. And it was Tommy Migrant and Barbie Decker, Barbie Kalev, and they were talking about the 5-step process. But what he had me listen to originally at first was Overcoming Objections, Part 4 and 5. I'm not telling you, I'm not kidding you. I may eventually, my first tattoo may be a 4 and a 5, because that's how much this affected me. And I listened to this audio and was a video, but I listened to it over and over and over again. So much so that I had it plugged in my ear and I knew what parts that gave me the courage to reply back in the way that I needed to and in the follow-up, because Barbie spoke my language, because she made it about the other person. You can find it on YouTube. I don't know what the link is, but it's Overcoming Objections Part 4 and 5. And it's going to say Barbie Decker, D-E-C-K-E-R. Somebody can write that in the notes. And I can post a link too when we're done. Constantly, always plugged in my ear. Because what I knew was the voice in my head was telling me what I can't do, and I wasn't here to sell people, and all the negativity was telling me I couldn't do in my head. I literally had to plug something in my ears to drown out my own can't do voice, and that was Barbie Decker. And I have used that content since the first 2 months in my coaching born month. Since. And I tell people this all the time. And even finally on the cruise last year, I saw Barbie and I said, listen, I've been trying to tell you this for years. And she got me on recording. She's like, how do I get my team to listen? I am constantly blown away by people who don't plug that in. And it just tells me that people aren't really willing to put the work in. They really aren't. Like if I were talking to somebody who was able to do what I do, I'm not a millionaire, you guys. I'm not. I haven't made that yet. I'm not a 15-star. It took me 4 years to hit elite. I mean, you guys, I'm a slow turtle, and I'm proud of that. You guys, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I constantly was willing to keep improving. And this is a result of a lot of hard work. I'm constantly amazed at the number of people who don't actually take action with that audio. Like, that is legit my secret sauce, 100%. Going for no was 2. I actually thought I came up with the words, and then somebody busted my bubble and told me that somebody wrote a book about it. I didn't know, but I want the no's, because I want to know who I'm supposed to talk to. And in my recruiting, this is the amazing part about this, you guys. In my recruiting, it taught me the value of doors that close. I'm telling you, because every time I got a bunch of doors that shut on me, this really amazing door swung right open, and this amazing woman or gentleman, but usually woman, said, we connected, and I had the solution, and we were going to come together and walk this path together because those other doors shut. That's how much I love no's, okay? But that overcoming objections, big. Going for no, another big one. And all I did, you guys, I'm not kidding you, I hadn't read the book. I thought I freaking wrote the book. I really did. When Jimmy was talking about going for 100 people, I think at that time I decided that I was going to go for no's. And I made this chart of all the no's that I got, and I sent a number of 330 no's, you guys. It took me forever to hit 330 no's. I don't know why. It was something based on some crazy math I was doing in my head, why that number. And I just kept going and going and going and going. And while I focused on the no's, I just couldn't get too much farther in the no's because I had these yeses that kept popping up. It was crazy. So I got really tangible in my recruiting process. I love marking stuff off. But let me tell you something, you guys. I don't drag people to their coaching business or fitness. I don't. I have rules. My rules are this, the same one that Jimmy put in front of me, and I wanted to like drop kick him for doing this. I'm like, wait, I needed all the answers. You need to tell me this and this and this. I need to know everything. Jimmy, here's my resume. I know I'm broken homeless, but you have no idea what I've been able to accomplish in the past, right? And then Jimmy said, don't worry about all this. Go do this. Then I want to get on the phone with him and talk to him about my struggle, right? And the reality was I wasn't really doing what he said I was doing. I wasn't doing the things he told me to do. I just thought I was. And he said, don't worry about that. Just go do this. And it was as simple as hitting emerald. Now go do it again. And so what I learned was that, and this is as part of me in my journey, I only give my time to those who are willing to continue putting one step in front of the other that does not expect for me to drag them. Why? 1, I'm on a journey myself. 2, This is why I said, you guys, don't post about why you can't get to the event. Don't post about that kind of stuff, because we feel like we have to explain why we can't do something. We have to explain why things are not going the way they are. But here's the deal. The veterans know the truth because we were you. And so in order to keep the energy up around you in your group, et cetera, you remain selective on who you work with. You remain selective on who you give time to. And by respecting your time, you're also respecting their time. Because guess what? They want to live in an environment that's positive and uplifting and not the water cooler, negative, can't do talk. And so I have that hard and fast rule in my life, in my circle, and in those I communicate with and those who are even in my group. So much so, quite honestly, I removed the negative people. I did exactly what Jimmy did. And we were a better group for it. The crew take action, better group for it. Team NSV, a better group for it. Because when you become a coach, it doesn't mean the expectation is for you to be open. You're not 7-Eleven, you're not open 24/7. You're not on a pedestal. You're not inhuman. And you become friends and fit family. So why wouldn't you tell really awesome people about a total solution? And why wouldn't you follow up? So going back to the follow-up, you guys, I do follow up. I have, I come back to them, and again, goes back to overcoming objections, part 4 and 5. I'm all, hey, listen, it's not going to bum me out if you change your mind, but could you just take the 10 seconds and let me know either way? Because I've taken the time to reply to you. I also let people know that I'm very busy as well. In other words, don't come back with the I'm too busy. Because you've asked me to be a part of this. I'm trying to bring you into this. You said why this is important to you, and I'm saying, here's the solution. Tell me yes or no. And I promise you there won't be any hard feelings. I ask them to commit one way or the other. And I tell them why. Because I don't want to be that weird, seedy coach who's going to be like, but you said you were interested. 2 months later, hey, poke, follow up. Shit or get off the pot. Because I want to help you, but I'm not going to drag you. So just let me know, are you ready or are you not? And if they're not ready now, guess what happens a year later, 2 years later, because 6 months later, because you show up every single day consistently, not the highlight reel, not the pretty angle, the sweaty, the I did it, I stumbled, I picked myself up. They're going to watch you and they're going to finally say, I can too. And they'll reach back out to you. And when they do, you open your arms and say, let's go. That's the follow-up. So I follow up 3 times. Yes. I turn around no's quite often. Wade just said, I was just told no, and it turned into a challenge pack sale within an hour. I simply asked more questions. 100%. I can't afford it is fear. Do you guys remember the times you say you can't afford something? When you can't afford to get to the playbook, or you couldn't afford to get to the challenge pack as an example, because everybody in here should have gotten a challenge pack, right? Most likely. Okay. When you said I couldn't afford it, what did that really mean to you when you look back at it now? Does anybody want to share? Because I bet you it was fear. You guys can post it in the post it in the comments. I'll bet you it was fear. Fear of wasting money again. Fear of getting sucked into a gimmick. Fear of failure. Wasn't a priority. This is why you tell them about the 30-day money-back guarantee and stand strong in that. Fear of loving it. Fear of success, Kim. Totally true. Yes. Because when something is important enough and it's of value enough, we're willing to invest in it. And so when people come back to me with a money, what do you call it? Money, think, Tulin, what's the word? A money excuse, right? Me, the broken homeless girl, come to me with a money excuse. Do you know what I ask them? I tell them, I said, look, I think it's really important for you to understand that in this relationship that I don't want to be seen as the value of your challenge pack. That if the value of working with me is $140 and the tools that you're getting that you can walk away from, we don't have to move forward in this conversation. And they go, oh crap, I didn't think about that. I am not a $140 challenge pack. What I will be is a fit sister and family, and we will bumble and fumble together, but you will never be without a support system again. But I ain't going to listen to you complain either. Do you understand what I'm saying, you guys? Hub said no. I was the no spouse. I was the unsupportive spouse. I love that one. I talked to my husband. He said, it's too expensive. We can't do it. Do you know why I didn't want my husband to get in awesome shape after he's lost the ability to walk and we've lost everything? Because I swore up and down that my husband was going to leave me for a big boob, petite blonde. And then Shalene walked into our life. It was my biggest fear, that he was going to like fall in love with someone else. And he did at Shalene Johnson. And I'm fine. We're good. We're still together. But no, I had a fear of him getting fit and in shape. And as I sat here at over 350 pounds, that he would no longer love me for who I am. There are seriously situations like that in relationships. There's a fear of you getting healthier and better. I was that too. I don't know if I've ever admitted that. My first challenge pack was Shalene Johnson, you guys, because $140, I just want to buy one. And I looked at it and I went, what is she going to know about my life? Holy crap. Another one that Jimmy put in front of me and said, hey, you should listen to this. Hello has made the biggest difference in my world. The biggest difference in my world. So anyways, so there's that. And then what else can I tell you guys? Managing people, I teach, take action. Oh, hugely. I'm about ready to go roll in a bag of Cheetos right now. It's so hugely. I'm telling you, and don't bring up political conversation because I don't care what side you're on. That's funny stuff. Okay, listen. I listened to Melanie Mitro last year at the New Leadership Conference. Melanie Mitro is the bomb. And she was, I know Jimmy said this too, I guarantee you, but I'm going to go to Melanie Mitro because when I actually heard it, meaning, you know, we get told a lot of things and there's that one person, right, that all of a sudden goes, and then we're like, didn't we tell you about this for the past 7 years? Anyways, long story short, Melanie Mitro talks about how she works 80% her own business. 80% her own business. I have heard 90-10. Here's why. Ready? You've got to work your business. You've got to do you. Part of working your business is taking care of you. 80% of your time should be spent on you, your journey. Exactly, leading from the front. Sharing, getting sweaty, drinking your Shakeology. Body's whole first part of the day is about taking care of you. Somebody's mute yourself.
Really
each body says you. Not you, Bev?
Right now, time out.
All right. Whoever's talking to their dude, we hear you. All right. So the 80-20 rule. It's really easy to read it and then go, oh, what do you mean? You're going to take 80% to yourself? Yes. You know why? And I love saying this, and I swear it's mine. If somebody else said it before me, I'm still going to claim it. You have got to learn to be more selfish so you can be selfless for others. Period. End of story. If you aren't taking care of you, your business, what you do 80% of the day and being selfish in your own journey, you will not have the heart to share and be selfless for others. For those who say, my kids, my job, my whatever, I'm using Kimmy as an example. Kimmy's going through some shit right now, still showing up. I'm not saying she's setting the bar because I even warned her. I said, hey, listen, you're going to be super, super strong right now. Just make sure you feel right, like have the feels you got to feel. You have to take care of you and yours 80% of the time before you can take care of other people. And you take care of the willing. As Jimmy says, you run, I run. You disappear, I disappear. And you hear that from someone else, but I heard that from Jimmy. See, I'm always honoring the people that I hear stuff from. That's how much of an impact other people make in my life. How would that feel to you to know that you made an impact in somebody else's life? What would that mean to you for someone to use your words? Not because it makes you famous, it doesn't do that. But you said something made a difference in somebody else's life. What would that feel like? Would that feel amazing to know you had that impact? Then find out their goals and struggles. Offer them the freaking challenge pack. Give an opportunity to say no. And let them know about the discount and the return policy. Because someday they're going to say, hey, I remember when. And sometimes it's not you that they say the words are from, but you were part of the frequency and somebody else said it. And because they heard it for the 7th time from someone else, is because you offered them the solution. Kobe, yeah. It was Kobe for a long time for my husband. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, I'm not here to step by. Are you guys understanding? Am I getting into some of your fears and the things that are holding you back? Ding, ding, we sold another challenge back. The fears and the things that hold you back from recruiting. You guys, my business was held back. I sat at Emerald. For all you guys sitting in Emerald, get off the Emerald train. Legit, get off the Emerald train. Don't even look at Ruby. Go straight to Diamond. Go straight to Diamond. I am telling you, the only thing stopping you from getting there is you not taking care of you, selfish in you and your journey. You not talking to other people about your journey as they ask you about it. Just because you sell it doesn't degrade the quality of what you have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. Stop it. I did that too. Knock it off. It doesn't. It actually validates the quality of the product you have to offer. But the number one product they're coming after is you. The product is secondary. It's you. And you're thinking, who's going to want to follow me? I don't know who wanted to follow 350 pound plus girl, but somebody did. Somebody did. Somebody did. This journey is not a one size fits all. It's going to look the same for a long, long, long time until one day it looks different. Jacqueline taught me same, but different. Yeah, a lot hit Emerald and do it again. I love that, Jimmy, so much. You guys, for you guys who've hit Emerald, hit it again. Do you know what I did after I hit 5-star? My husband and I high-fived each other. We got back to work. You know what we did after we hit Elite? Got the phone call, high-fived each other, got back to work. Just because you hit a rank and it feels really good to stand up a Super Saturdays Emerald, I want you to look around and see how many Emeralds are standing with you. And I want you to understand one thing, that they aren't having the continuous conversation either. That you guys can get to exactly where you need to go and where you want to go by continuing to apply in the fundamentals, by paying attention to yourself, your journey, working in your business 80% of the time, 90% of the time. By making sure that you follow up with people within reason, by listening to overcoming objections. A growing successful coach is telling you, this is my magic sauce. Get it in your ears over and over again. And then understand that you are in the crew, take action, and know that the requirement to stay in here to keep the energy up and lifted is to make sure that you hit SC on a monthly basis at least. And if you don't, no long posts about, but I got to help people and it's just great to inspire them. Knock that off too. Because if you've gotten that far, you could get them to actually be able to get them to take their first step by offering them the solution. I did that too. It's not about SC, about rank. It absolutely is. That's the tangible that shows you that you're actually making a difference in other people's lives. You're helping them to physically take action. That sale, that transaction is action. That is a commitment. That is them saying, I trust and I believe in you. And even if I don't, I got 30 days to return on your ass anyways. And they don't. And they don't. Because they discover stuff about themselves because of you and your journey. Okay, so does that help you guys? I can open this up for a couple of questions. You guys have any? We've got like 7. I think it's supposed to go an hour. I don't know. I didn't ask. Anybody have any questions? You guys can comment. There's 4 pages, which is the most beautiful thing in the world to flip and see. There are 4 pages of freaking people. So if you guys could comment if you have any questions. I am happy getting off the Emerald train. I'm happy to answer them for you. If you don't, 88 people on at one point. That's amazing. Yeah, 4 pages. I don't know. It's like